What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is when Britain nuked America twice.
I didn't know they did this.
I didn't know they did this. It sounds quite... I'm guessing this is going to be like a superlative title, nuked America twice, and it's going to be like a little accident which isn't that big. Would be my guess.
Yeah, maybe it's just a bigger title than...
That's what I'm guessing here, an eye-catching thing, and it technically did happen, but not in the way you'd think about it. Yeah. Maybe wrong. We're going to learn something new. If you enjoy this content, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. Hopefully you enjoyed the in real life video yesterday. I think we're going to hopefully have quite a lot of cooking videos coming soon. Before we go to America, we're going to try and ram you guys with us trying the foods, us making it, and then we'll try it properly in America. So that's super exciting. They'll be on early access on Patreon, but wait until the first couple have come out, and then you're guaranteed to... But we're on a roll with it because we're going to wait till we've got about 5 or 6 done to get a couple out, aren't we?
Yeah.
And then obviously when we go to America, 2 days early access on all the America videos on Patreon. So we're linked in the description. Right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
When Britain nuked America twice, what have we got?
In the 1960s, Great Britain nuked the United States not once, but twice.
Can't be that big, surely.
I'm sure we'd known about it.
Fortunately for all concerned, the attacks were only training exercises, but so embarrassing were these attacks that they were hidden from the American public for about 50 years, as well as being strenuously denied to the American press for decades.
Wait, a training exercise, but then they're calling an attack. So I'm really... Were the US in on it? I'm really confused.
Also, when was it?
We're going to learn about it, but I'm confused.
As being strenuously denied to the American press for decades. As far as America was concerned, its defences were 99% effective. But in simulated attacks, Royal Air Force bombers managed to penetrate US airspace to launch nuclear attacks on New York City and several other important urban centres. How did the British manage to penetrate the world's most heavily defended airspace? The answer is surprisingly simple and consists of 2 words. Avro Vulcan.
Okay. I'm guessing that's the plane. Would be my guess. Just a beast of a plane.
The Vulcan first flew in 1952. The team that created it, led by Roy Chadwick, who had designed the famous Lancaster heavy bomber of World War II.
Okay.
A jet-powered, tailless, delta-wing, high-altitude strategic bomber, the Vulcan was the backbone of Britain's nuclear airborne deterrent during most of the Cold War, serving from 1956 until retirement in 1984.
Okay, never heard of it. I've obviously heard of the Lancaster bomber, but not heard of this jet.
No.
This is the story of Exercise Sky Shield, when Britain nuked its closest ally, exposing how the Soviet Union could have done the same for real.
Oh, they had an easy
in 1960, the United States decided to run the largest test of its air defences in history. Exercise Sky Shield 1 occurred on the 10th of September 1960, and all commercial air traffic over the US and Canada was grounded, amounting to 1,000 US commercial flights and 700 general aviation aircraft, plus a further 31 foreign flights due to land in North America. The US Strategic Air Command would launch B-52 Stratofortresses and B-47 Stratojets to simulate a massive Soviet nuclear bomber force approaching North America from north and south. 360 US interceptor aircraft stood ready to defeat these enemy aircraft, which numbered 310. Among those 310 aircraft were 8 Royal Air Force Vulcan B-2 nuclear bombers. A flight of 4 flew from Scotland, while the other 4 launched from the British territory of Bermuda in the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, let's have a comments, by the way, because this were 80s, I said, didn't there? If you were born alive during this, an old enough age to remember, was this a big thing? I feel like it's a big thing.
It's a big thing, but I've never heard of it.
I know back then news won't have travelled as fast, but I think nowadays, if a whole airspace got shut down, for this, everyone's like, oh my god, and everyone would be watching it, wouldn't they? But then maybe because it's back in the day, news don't travel as fast, they want to keep it quiet.
Maybe, and there's no internet, is there? So it's like...
I think there was internet.
Was there?
I think so.
Yeah,
there was definitely computers. Yeah,
no.
I think it was like...
there wasn't like social media and stuff like that.
Oh, no, not social media, not Facebook and stuff like that.
Things spread quick on like Facebook.
Definitely. I think the internet was like phone line, where you'd have to dial into a phone line and stuff like that to get on the web, I'm pretty sure. I met one of us sounds like an idiot. It may be me. I don't know. But it's always good to learn. Yeah, like... was it a big thing? If you do know about this, were you in that time? Did you live in America? Did you realise potentially 310 jets potentially going over? Let us know in the comments.
The American plan was to detect these enemy bombers by radar and other early warning systems, and then they would be intercepted and destroyed in simulated attacks by US jet fighters and missile batteries. The attacking bombers split their attacks between high and low altitude.
Okay.
The defending fighters did very well against the stratojets and stratofortresses, intercepting many of them, but the Vulcans proved more elusive opponents. The Vulcan flew at the highest altitude of the simulated Soviet bombers, cruising at 56,000 feet.
Wow.
One was successfully intercepted at this altitude over Goose Bay, Labrador, by a United States Air Force F-101 Voodoo.
Is that a dog?
But the other 7 Vulcans all managed to penetrate American airspace to launch simulated bombing attacks on US cities.
They look quite nice actually, don't they?
They then turned around and landed at Stephenville, Newfoundland.
I mean, although it's bad that 7 got through, it is good they've done this exercise.
Yeah, they obviously needed to do it, didn't they?
They're doing it, and then they can rectify their issues and stuff like that, so it is positive.
Yeah.
The question was, how had the Vulcan managed it? The answer was their highly advanced electronic countermeasures systems and the Vulcan's amazing maneuverability. For example, the flight of 4 aircraft that approached from Bermuda were successful because 3 of them put up a wall of electronic interference that prevented interception.
Oh, wow.
While the 4th Vulcan carried out a simulated nuclear strike. This was all rather embarrassing for Strategic Air Command, which quickly buried all stories about British bombers having nuked US targets and confidently assured the American public that US air defences were, as I said, 99% effective.
Yeah, I think if it had got out that happened, that's a lot of panic, isn't it? And then the Soviets have a one-up because they'd hear about it if it got out. I understand why they did, because I suppose it is embarrassing as well.
I guess partly
it's not embarrassing to me because I'm like, it's so complicated anyway, it's so impressive the fact you can intercept anyway. But I guess from a security standpoint, when you go in, no one can touch yours, absolutely fine, and then suddenly a plane just comes in and nukes you technically.
That isn't great, is it?
Not great, no. So I can understand why the story's got buried.
However, the following year, the Americans invited the RAF to take part in Exercise Sky Shield 2. Perhaps the USAF was determined to show that the Vulcan's previous success was only a fluke, a one-time only event. Sky Shield 2, which occurred on the 14th of August 1961, was an even bigger event than the first one.
Okay.
It caused 2,900 US and Canadian flights to be grounded, affecting 125,000 commercial passengers.
Wow.
During the exercise, 125 US and British bombers would be pitted against 1,800 fighters and 250 missile sites, and over 200,000 Air Force personnel from the US and Canada.
Wow.
That's a lot of things involved.
Looks massive.
No, that's not the Vulcan.
That's not the same one.
I was going to say that's a different one, but that was massive.
That massive one.
Coming up on 16 and a half seconds. Now, continuing.
I love seeing all the old footage, that's awesome.
It's crazy that they have it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm straight. Ready. Now. Brace up hard here. Come up. 6 up, standing by Fox.
Again, 8 Vulcan B-2s participated, split again into 2 flights. one attacking on the northern route from RAF Lossiemouth in Scotland via Canada,
Okay.
and the other 4 aircraft on a southerly route from Kindley Air Force Base, Bermuda.
Same route as
The
before.
B-47 Stratojets simulated low-level Soviet bombers. The B-52s would attack between 35,000 and 42,000 feet, while the Vulcans again operated at the highest altitude, 56,000 feet.
Well, I'm guessing they get through because I
The
got nuked
massive
twice.
NORAD, or North American Air Defense Bunker at Colorado Springs, the U.S. top brass was joined by the RAF's Air Marshal Sir Kenneth Cross of Bomber Command and Sir Wallace Kyle, Chief of the RAF Technical Training Command, to monitor the exercise.
Okay.
Just before 2 p.m., U.S. interceptors pounced on the B-52s, approaching at the mid to high altitude level.
Okay.
The Vulcans also came in from the north, and again, due to the Vulcans' high-tech jamming equipment, only one was shot down by an F-101 Voodoo fighter. In fact, large numbers of U.S. fighters were scrambled, but they concentrated almost exclusively on the B-52s.
Okay.
When the Vulcans came over, the interceptors did not have sufficient fuel remaining to climb to 56,000 feet plus.
Forgot
and
over
engage
again.
them. The surviving 3 Vulcans conducted their attacks successfully, turned around and landed at Stephenville, Newfoundland.
Okay.
The southern attack force of 4 Vulcans from Bermuda reached a position 50 miles off the U.S. coast before fighters were scrambled to intercept. Again, 3 of the Vulcans unleashed an electronic jamming screen that kept the attacking F-102 Delta daggers busy, while the 4th aircraft crept round to the north and sneaked through.
Yeah, again,
This
like
Vulcan
if you're in my defence, you've been fired and again, I imagine you'd be annoyed and frustrated.
Yeah, you would be.
I imagine all this is now sorted now. Like they do it, the US throws money at it. They've thrown a lot of money at it. It's probably not a problem at all anymore. They've definitely fixed it. But it's a case of a year later, you're like, yeah, let's get them back just to show them now. Like, they ain't getting through again. It was a fluke, and then it happens again.
Yes, it's not looking great, is it?
That is
At
quite
that
embarrassing.
time,
Yeah, I
is.
imagine you're like, oh, don't worry about it. We sorted it.
We sorted it and then it happens.
Best
It's like,
defence in the world. Yeah.
I think we need to work on it.
Yeah.
proceeded to land at Plattsburgh Air Force Base in New York. If this had been a real attack, New York City could have been reduced to a smoking, irradiated hole in the ground.
Wow. Nice.
It's incredible.
Many of
isn't it?
the Stratojets and Stratofortresses had also managed to evade interception and launch simulated nuclear attacks, but not at the kind of success rate that the Vulcans enjoyed. In 2 massive exercises of 8 Vulcans that attacked on each occasion, 7 had got through to their targets, an astounding survival rate against the huge might of the US air defences.
Yeah, it is impressive, that survival rate. The Brits have actually did something like productive
The
for a change.
Vulcans showed that with the right aircraft, America could be laid wide open to a nation-ending assault, something which the Soviet Union would have been very interested in. Fortunately for all concerned, the relationship between Britain and the United States never changed from special to decidedly antagonistic, and the
Exactly.
Vulcans never came in anger.
And it's still
The
that way.
American government also tried to make damn sure that nobody found out about the Vulcans nuking American cities.
Which
The
makes
US
sense.
Air Force was very quick to deny rumours that RAF planes had once again successfully penetrated US airspace. In fact, the US government went so far as to classify all references to Vulcans included in the Sky Shield
Oh, wow.
exercises.
I'm not surprised,
After
though.
all, if the
Yeah.
RAF could practice nuke New York City, Washington, D.C., and even Chicago, the Soviets could do the same, if they could develop an aircraft as good as the Vulcan. As far as Strategic Air Command was concerned, the Vulcan episodes had never happened, and the US was well protected, and that protection, as I said, 99% effective. The Vulcans' successful attacks on America were only fully declassified in 1997,
Once they
long
sorted the
after
problem.
the Vulcan had left British service.
And I imagine they'd fixed it, so the Vulcan
Yeah.
can't
Many
do it
thanks for
anymore.
watching. Please
That's
subscribe.
good. It's interesting because
It was
it's
interesting.
just something we'd never heard before.
I think because it seemed like a big thing, but we've never heard about it, and it seemed like Britain were on top at that point.
Which is
which is a miracle.
Which
so
is
like,
mad.
Yeah, I think that's why it was interesting.
But like I say, it's all training exercise, and I can imagine the ramifications if I did get out. Because at the end of the day, I hate this saying because it means you've got no knowledge on people. But in terms of this stuff, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
If the Soviets suddenly know there's a weakness there, that is a lot of power to them to be able to create an aircraft which can do it, strike fear. So in that situation, a lot of knowledge is power. So them not knowing, they still think, oh, we've got no chance of being able to nuke America in this way. If we, do you know what I mean? At the time.
Yeah.
So I think, definitely knowledge is power. So it's a good job they buried it, I think.
I think so.
And like I say, we're legends because, as we've done in multiple videos, if the US came up against the UK, although a Vulcan used to be able to get through, I think we would be pretty screwed. So let's stay friends. Just remember that time we didn't nuke you.
Yeah.
Smash that button, guys. Smash subscribe and watch it.
Have a fantastic day.
And we'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.